Hey guys, so it's another day with Garbco. Don't you feel lucky, Garbco? You might be
another day with Garbro. It's like, oh my god, not again.
No, you know what? It's actually, you know what I think. Why it turned a lot of people off whenever we first started getting you on is because you were on by yourself. You know what I mean?
Yeah, probably.
And I think that's probably what turned them off. But anyway, look. So we're doing a thread today, DM red flags, and I thought this would be perfect because. You need to remember, me and MeAn are actually kind of trash DMs, not going to lie. And Garbo actually knows what he's doing. So I think you can actually get...
Allegedly.
Well, I enjoy the games. Alright, that's all I'm going to say. I enjoy them. I think they're more fun than most. So, you know, why not?
That's right, chat. I'm more fun than most. Suck on my nuts.
Yeah. Right, let's jump into this, will we?
Alright, so DM red flags. I want sessions to feel cinematic. Hate to crap on this guy too much because he's an otherwise decent DM, but he puts an emphasis on sessions being cinematic. And it doesn't help that the DM's pet encouraged it, going, "Whoa, this is just like a movie." That's cringe. Yeah. a lot of sessions haven't had this problem, but it kind of culminated recently in a session when we had the DM's pet PC, whom he refers to out of character as the protagonist, having
disgusting.
Disgusting.
It's fucking what he is.
It's just which when you took a shit. It's fucking what he is.
You know what? I feel so bad. I feel so bad for Charlotte Lloyd. Like, you know, she will always be known as that.
Yeah. Have a dream sequence where basically the rest of us were regulated to more or less playing NPCs and not one got any experience or loot. I think the DM could tell I wasn't particularly enthused by this and made it out like this sort of thing won't happen for a while, but it was still a really weird thing. Do you think movie brain has warped games like video game brain has? Have you had any experiences like this? Yeah, I've had a lot of if the DM goes for a half hour just monologuing, you're like, good God, man, would you stop?
I know. There's only so much in a day. Like, you know, to be fair, the only time I'm really against that is, see, if I'm at like a shop and someone insists on roleplay in the shop, it's like, no, just give me the list. Let me see what there is. You know what I mean? Unless it's something very specific that we're going to the shop specifically for, please. Don't hurt my soul like this. I've only got so many hours in a day.
Most DMs forget that the game is narrative teamwork. And if you're just fucking writing a book at the table, your players will be like, okay, can we do something now? Usually you want the book to involve the players as driving the plot line, not you just belching out plot into their face as they sit and go, wow, cool, very neat. Like it's literally your mom going, that's nice, sweetie, as your players watching monologue for half an hour.
No.
As for the it's just like a movie. This is definitely an infection from Critical Role again, probably.
Do you think so?
Well, for some reason, all DMs, I don't know what started this shit, or like the meme grew too large, but they all want to, they all look for Matt Mercer for like inspiration. And because he's like the biggest and the bestest ever, so they go with like the whole like hype building cinematic voice acting thing.
Yeah.
And usually I forget they're not Matt Mercer.
Yeah. I don't know. I like the idea of like putting set pieces, like, you know, interesting set pieces in front of players.
Well,
you know
of course,
what I mean?
but the point should be that the players go into set pieces. They're not just outside looking in going, wow, that's pretty neat. That's pretty neat.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like you want them to play with it, you don't want them to just see it. Does that make sense?
It's like pulling your dick out in front of a girl. You want them to play with it, not just look at it and go, oh, that's nice. Hey, that's nice. That's a good dick, yeah.
I mean, like, you know, there's always worse things that they can say. They'd be like, that's fucking disgusting, get that away. You know what I mean? It's looking at me, oh God, please make it stop.
Why's it got bumps? Is that eczema? The purpose of role-playing is to have fun. It's mental masturbation, usually play with other people. So it's like a group masturbation orgy.
I mean, you were in the army, you'd know all about that.
What happened in the barracks stays in the barracks, okay?
I mean, we've all seen them videos of our soldiers with bananas, and there's a bit too many of them for my life. Like, what the fuck?
Well, I can't say at least we weren't caught on UAV having a battlefield blowjob, so that's Russia's thing, I think. But the key to that fun is imagination and willingness to get immersed in the play of pretend. The purpose of a role-playing game is to have fun. If rules come in the way of fun, then the purpose comes before the rules. We orient and adapt to what players want and to the situation, and make up new rules if we want. The freedom of imagination is the fun, which is why I hate like fucking like the meta boys who have the monster manual next to them. Well, actually, it's AC-14. Fuck you, it's AC-20 now, just to fucking spite you. Like,
I don't know. I don't know. I struggle with this one. I really do struggle with this one. Like, you know, I mean, the problem is, you know what it is? I think I've came to the point where there is some rules that are just dog shit. I don't care. I hate bag management. I have no interest in bag management ever.
It's just a bag with a hole in it, and you just put whatever you want in there. Hooray!
Well, that's essentially a bag of holding. Let's be serious. Yes. Once you get a bag of holding, it's like, I do not care about my bag. I have all this stuff, by the way, and that's me. You know, I think that's one thing I do struggle with wizards as well. Like, any spellcaster, it's like, what spells did you prepare? It's like, most of them. Not that bad.
That's what I never got with 5e was that, yeah, you know all these spells, which have you prepared? I can't just know with the fucking spell. Like, I can't have a pocket full of shit that spell. You gotta like prepare.
Yeah.
And like okay, it's a cantrip, and I gotta prepare this shit. The fuck.
Yeah. I mean, like, I think it should be like, okay, you've got your spell slots. You can only do so many spells. I think that's enough of a restriction. You know what I mean?
Like, just having that amount of like energy you can expel, but you know what the fuck. It's like saying, well, my brain didn't prepare the fireball spell, despite me knowing the fireball spell. So
and I've cast it about a million times.
Yeah.
It's one of those ones. There's going to be so many people in the comments shouting at me over that one, but honestly, shout at me, I don't even feel bad anymore. Fuck you guys.
Get good, Neckbeardia. God, you can't handle simple spell selection. Good.
I don't know what I'm going to be doing that day. I've got no idea. You know what got me? I'm not even joking. It was every day I'd be like, you know what? I should really get Featherfall, and I really should bring Thingy Step as well. Never needed to use them once. But they're like the type of things like, I really should have these. Okay, I'll take them. And I never once used them in the entire campaign.
Well, that's one of the bad points to spell like setup is that there are spells that are very, very niche, and you only need them for very niche situations. So how the fuck do you prepare that spell in the hope that this niche spell pops up for a niche situation for a niche completion? It always seemed very bad. Well, it's mine. Like, you got any blood left in your system? Cast a spell. But I like the one right here. Hold on. I have dedicated myself to escapism for many years. That's really, really not healthy. It's the sort of thing that twists a person, and the more they do it, the worse they get. Using games as escapism, or really using anything as escapism, is something that should be heavily discouraged. Tolkien treating fantasy as a form of escapism is making the worst use of fantasy, when the real purpose of it is to communicate truths without distorting lens of reality. You can enjoy playing games without escapism. You can tell a story without using it as a way to avoid looking at yourself. I don't know or want to know what ailments you have or what else you suffer from, but I can't really criticize a lame man for relying on a crutch. But escapism is not a glory or a triumph or something to dedicate yourself to. You see, here's what actually I don't agree with this. I think escapism is healthy, in my opinion. I may not like be on the same jive as other people, but in my mind, reading books is escapism, for God's sakes. Alcohol is a great method to fucking escape. But like video games and books and RPGs, it's healthy to have escapism, because if you're always grounded in reality, it fucking sucks. Like, you need to find something that can disconnect your brain from all the bullshit around you. Like painting miniatures is escapism. Wargaming is escapism. Anything that's not dealing with the bullshit of adulting is a nice form of escapism. Now, you can't go too far deep into it, or you get like furries, you know.
Okay. So that's exactly what I was thinking. There's definitely bad forms of escapism. Coomers.
You literally can't go too far down the literal rabbit hole, you know what I'm saying? Or you don't come back out. Like, this is my life now. Why are you wearing a fursuit? Oh no, Jimmy, no. I am become one with the fur. But
there's definitely good examples of escapism, and there's definitely poor versions. I think, like, honestly, though, it's kind of got me thinking, like, you could argue even in this day and age, like, look at politics, like, how much of politics is, like, shaped into the real world. I don't know, it's kind of weird, and people live in, like, alternate realities almost at this point.
Well, it's why folks are getting so tired of their forms of escapism being polluted by politics, because they can't escape it. Like, oh boy, Star Wars, time to turn brain off and have space monks. What the fuck is this? And like, what? No, this is my escape. Why are you here? It'd be like going to the ocean and diving down. You're like, okay, I'm safe, and a snail shows up. Those get the reference. I'll fucking good on you. But no, it'd be like going to space and like finally there's no more kangaroos. I am free from kangaroos. And as you walk out of the fucking airlock, boom, kangaroo. What the fuck? No, you're here. It's like you can't escape.
Yeah, no, I don't know. It's a weird one. I've got a few other ideas, but I think we'll keep going. So we will.
Hey guys, sorry for interrupting your video, but I'm sure you've already heard by now that we have our first ever Kickstarter up and live. It's the Gas Station Tabletop Role Playing Sourcebook. It's got this many days left. I don't know how many days is left, but this is how many's left. It's a one-off print. So once this Kickstarter's finished, we don't intend to do another print.
Unless there's overwhelming numbers of people that really, really want it. We intend this to be a one-off thing. We might print it again in like 3-4 years' time.
Who knows? But if you're interested, you can check out the video link below that's showing everything in it and everything you need to know about it. Thank you so much for your support and everyone that's pledged so far, and let's get back to the video. And today's lucky winner is this guy. Well done! Well done! To claim your prize, just send an email to Neckbeardia contact@gmail.com. Now let's get back to the video.
So I'll just run through a bunch of them, all from the same DM. Crit fails. Oh, okay, yeah. Crit fails are designed to be biased against marshals, and that's good because they do too much damage.
What? Okay, I've been working on this, right? Okay, I have been working on this. I'm really happy with my crit and fumble tables. I think they're both really good. I don't know. See, when it comes to like skill checks being criticals, I wouldn't bother with that. But I definitely think combat should have criticals. Like, you can stab someone like 1 billion times.
Marshals do too much damage.
Well, I again, that's one thing I've trying to perfect in my. I'm trying to work on like a generic fantasy
in my OC
like an alternative
steel fantasy game.
Well, yeah, pretty much. I'm trying to make it so... I stole this from Lamentations. Pretty much the way they do it is fighters are the only class that can actually get multi-attack. And I think it works, It definitely brings them up way more. And also I've made it so, like, certain weapons do certain amounts of things. So, like, swords, for instance, can cause bleeding effects. And, like, say, maces and morning stars have, like, armor piercing and shit like that. You know what I mean? So, I don't know. I've been really working with it. Yeah. Well, that's what I've been trying to work on. I might link it down below, but it's not really ready for, like, public viewing, if I'll be honest with you. So, well, you know what? You guys can have a good laugh at it. How does that sound? Link down below.
Okay, so this discussion is going a certain way. Nothing you do, not even persuasion magic, will change that. As railroading, yeah. Escorts and mounts, including horses, take an equal share of XP for the entire session. Even if they join your party at the tail end of this. Why is a horse an XP? Horsey level 3 now. Good horsey. Like, what the fuck? No, it's a goddamn horse. Yeah, I don't feel like writing new characters, so your prisoners won't talk to you and are constantly trying to run away.
I mean, can you not just like swap? Like, what's the difference? Like, so many DMs just have the same NPC and they just put a different hat on them. You know what I mean? Like, I've kept across.
Greg have many faces.
Yeah, such a Greg of many faces. I think that's actually the best way I've heard it be put. But like, a lot of people do that. I mean, like, if I don't blame you.
I like the second part. It doesn't matter what restraints you use or how many times you search them. They roll a flat sleight of hand check to escape every hour. Finding an inn is basically fantasy Zork and done in excruciating detail.
Sometimes inns do go on for too long, though.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's like, you know what? It's a good place to start. If you want to just go over some details, yep, not bad. We'll do a bit of planning. See if it stretches
beer,
for half
cold,
an hour.
Barmaids, busty. Food, bussin'.
Yeah, that's all you need.
It doesn't matter what the rules say. This is a different kind of magic. Ooh.
Ooh, my OC.
A natural 20 always succeeds. So a natural 20 should be the best possible outcome that they could have, which could be a quicker death than the others. Honestly, that could be a natural 20. There's one game I was running where they're basically they were hemmed up bad, and they were all going to more or less die. And I think it was the bard or some shit who rolled a nat 20 for persuasion to let them go. And his guard went, you know what? You're right, and stabbed the bard first. You know. Yeah. And the thing was, they were then brought out and tortured and killed and hung publicly. So technically, the bard had the best possible outcome for the situation.
Well, that's not bad. I think I've worked my own way of doing this. So I've been playing a lot with the idea of like just a luck mechanic. It's kind of like a group party version of like a feat system. So like, you know, once per game. I'll give you an example of the last one I used. So the last time someone used this was we were doing a train heist. And they were at the very end, and there was a big, like, giant in the last compartment, and they were having a really hard time, and he managed to crush one of their heads. Like, he just grabbed their head and just, like, made their head explode type of thing, so they knew that they were fucked. And I said to them, because it looked really dire, it looked like it was going to be a TPK, so I said to them, I remind them, oh, by the way, I got this luck mechanic, and it's like, you know, a good example would be, oh, say you need to get away, you're in an inn, oh, these horses just happen to be sitting right out the back where you can just go ahead and jump right on them, or maybe, oh, all the enemies are standing about a big red barrel. That would be great, wouldn't it? So for this, I give them, you know what, we're in the last compartment. Maybe there's a big window here, so there is. So they were able to push the giant out the window, and he toppled out. And, like, you know, that worked. Like, you know, it wasn't, you're not changing it for them, if you know what I mean, but like if they can come up with something creative or something interesting, you know what I mean, with it, it's just like giving the party something free almost, as long as it's like believable. It's a really weird one, and I've had a lot of people ask about it because they don't understand how to use it or when to use it. I think it's whenever the party feels like they need something, you know what I mean. It's kind of like you're throwing them a lifeline, or like say they're in jail and oh great, the jailer has just fallen asleep. That would be great, and his keys are hanging right out of his pocket. You know what I mean? It's up to you to work out how the fuck to get them keys, but you know you're giving them like a lifeline. Does that make sense? It
does. And it's definitely a thing where you're writing the line of Deus Machina there, where like one part here, if the party is losing a climactic battle, just Deus Machina on an NPC uses a magical effect to win the fight single-handedly. There should be a balance between getting lucky and just having DM like, oh, actually everyone lives, hooray! It's like, oh god.
Yeah. Well, again, like, you know, like I give them a window, so I did, and there's no guarantee that they're going to be able to push that giant out that window. There's no guarantee that they're going to be able to smash that window. There just happens to be a window there. You know what I mean? It's up to them to actually then make that rules and make that work. Does that make sense? It's I need to explain it better in the documents and really like go into more detail about it, but I kind of like it. Fantasy Flight, Star Wars Fantasy Flight has the same mechanic or something very similar. You know, instead of like individual fate system, it's a group party event, if that makes sense.
See, in the VR TTRPG, nat 20s on RP stuff give the best possible outcome, which could just be not as great, just not as bad for your character. And then for combat, it simply refunds, it's called like Murder's Prowess or some shit like that, where it refunds your AP costs for that attack. It's not like double damage, it just... My throat's fucking dry.
It gives you more. It gives you more to work with. Does that make sense? Would that be a good way to put it?
There we go. I gotta get a fucking drink of water. It's not double damage, but it just refunds the AP cost, so you're able to do another attack. It's kind of like you do that attack really, really well, and you're able to kind of slip another one in there. And it's allowed some players to do some pretty wacky shit, like reload like before they were actually able to, and all kinds of fun shit. But anyway, GM ought to provide a premise to the story that is then continued as a shared task, reciprocally between the GM and the players. The GM presents a setting and or challenge, and the players respond in a creative way, providing another opportunity to expand. This can go on forever. If you assume that having plot lines is railroading, then you are mistaken. The players may choose to ignore any and all plot baits, they are free to do so, but as a wise GM, I know what keeps players coming back, and it is interesting setting and premise. Well, problem is, if your interesting settings and premises suck, they're not going to want to do those fucking things.
Yeah, that's a problem, isn't it? Like, the thing is, everyone thinks they've always got the best ideas. Everyone's like, no, this is going to be great, trust me. Like, look at all them OC Sonic characters. Like, once upon a time,
Shadow
was
the
like,
Sonic character.
Yeah, once upon a time, someone was like, you know what? This is fucking amazing, man. I'm not gonna lie. This is actually like the coolest thing I've ever came across. Which is a little shame. But again, like, I don't know. When it comes to it, I feel like, honestly, when a project's been handed to you, and I'm more than happy with working with a DM. You know what I mean? As long as it makes sense. It's like, it depends on what way they're being put forward to you. You know what I mean? Like, it's obvious when a DM wants you to go in a certain way, and like, as long as it's what my character would do. I don't really see that much of an issue. Like, unless it's something else that you're would do. Unless my character would do something completely different. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I'm okay with that, mostly just because I want to see what the person's prepared. You know what I mean? I'm going to assume the stuff that they've prepared and what they want to do is probably going to be more interesting than what they could pull out of the hole at the last minute. You know what I mean? So
allegedly,
I don't know. I've got a love-hate relationship when it comes to the whole idea. You know what I mean? I don't know. It's there's people on so many different ends of the spectrum, and a lot of people have really good points on both sides. I would argue. What's this one anyway? The big one that. Yeah, this one is
the big one. So, what if I told you the only hook you need is gold because all players are greedy and would like to see their numbers go up when they reach a new level? And gold, not monster kills, should be the more or less sole source of XP. This is not out of DM laziness, though the loss of need for hooks or plot lines is certainly a bonus. It starts the game in a perfectly player-centric, truly first-person way. What the fuck?
I have no idea what he was trying to say there.
Bob, Jimmy, and Claire want gold for their characters, and it turns out the best way to find gold/XP is in the dungeons. If you find it daunting to let a group into a world like this, I can understand, certainly if they are used to other ways of doing it. If the group is new, they will get it right away, but otherwise, try framing it in some way like this. I bet you guys can't reach level 5 with your characters, but if I were in your shoes, I probably could. What the fuck?
My dad was at Nintendo.
Yeah, that's kind of one. Yeah, okay, right, okay.
This immediately melts away the need for elaborate backstories tying together why the characters are together. What?
Well, yeah, it's kind of like, let's be serious. Like, we're just. I just need to get money. All right, you guys up for getting money together? Right, let's get money together.
Hey, do you need money? I need money. That's such a lazy way to do it, though. Goddamn.
Yeah.
Hey, do you guys also love money? I love money. Let's go kill this goblin for his money. It melts away the need for hooks, as the party will be actively searching for places to rob and steal stuff from. If they can't,
God,
Jesus Christ! Like, if you say that, they're going to tear your fucking city apart, robbing people. Like,
yeah,
we know players. Like, oh, really? That neighbor guy over there? How rich is he? Oh, he's doing pretty well. Cool. You know.
Yeah, I think that's going to happen. Well, for most players anyway. I know a few groups that would be like, no, we would never do that, and then there's other groups like, totally, let's do this, guys.
Already like have lockpicks out, huh? What?
Yeah.
If they can't find any clues in town after asking the usual suspects for rumors, well, they'll just have to start roaming the nearby hexes until they find something. The key word here is player-centric motivation. They want to do this because that's how they win. This is a game and they may very well lose. A story will no doubt arise perfectly naturally, as they explore the world around them, which the DM has hopefully had much more time to prepare with the lessened need for hooks and plot lines. This is just lazy. It's basically like, it's a sandbox, wink, wink, as they're like, it's literally, you're using your players' proposed greed of just grinding through mobs to buy time to create a narrative from said, like, just like monster crushing. This is like the same mentality of, I play D&D to win.
Yeah, well, that's the biggest problem with a lot of people. A lot of people there's so many people that just want to look at builds. You know what I mean? They don't really care about the character. It's like, no, but what about the builds? And I think that comes from, like, honestly, I think it comes from, like, MMOs.
You see, we'll make a bag of holding that acts like a cannon, you see, and it fires a shape charge at the dragon.
I mean, like, I would never be caught doing such a thing like that, okay, guys? That does not sound like me at all. Honestly, though, I don't mind the idea of using gold as XP, though, to a certain extent. I feel like XP is such a hard one to measure, and, like, you know, I'm more in favor of Milestone XP at this point.
Yeah, so, like, I used to do pure XP until I started doing Milestone. Like, this is great, because, like, there's a big battle, like, hey, by the way, y'all level up. Yay! It's not like,
yeah.
Ooh, sorry, you're 1 XP short. Can I smack a rat or something? No.
Yeah.
Wait till next session there, Bobby.
And how do you reward stuff like goodwill? Like, you know, should XP only be awarded through combat? You know what I mean? A lot of people want to do a mix of stuff.
Actually,
you know?
no. I know on one of the VR teams, I gave XP for solving a local problem. Like, they went out and they, like, more or less brokered a deal and shit. And they were able to, like, get XP that way. I was like, hey, you know what? That's a good job. Y'all level up. Like, oh, shit, really? Like, yeah, why not?
Yeah, I like that. I think, I don't know, and also I'm really interested in level-less systems, but I like the idea of your character being able to get better. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So it's not like clear progression. It's not like, that's what I'm kind of doing with all the games is that I've been working on. There is no clear level 1, level 2, but when you make a character, that's what you get, but you can get stronger over time, and again, that's just handed out by the DM. You know what I mean?
Billy gets
over
strong.
Time. Yeah, well, I don't know. I think it works, and I'm pretty happy with it. And everyone that I've played with that has been doing it seemed to be pretty happy with it. So, you know, I don't know. I think it's working, but again, it's just a messy system. So, like, you know, you kind of patching and kind of work the best you can with a system.
Well,
that's
folks try
really
to say
great.
that like Pathfinder and D&D are very easy, clean system, but they're really not. It's if you don't do your bookkeeping, you're gonna fucking lose a whole bunch of shit, which is really honestly not very fun. And it takes like it's a lot more work. Like in D&D, if you're as a GM or DM or CC, whatever you want to call yourself, if you're like, okay, I didn't make enough monsters so these goobers fucking finally level, but if you fuck up or something like that and the monsters don't all die or not enough monsters, then your group doesn't get the level up they need. Instead you go, hey, good job guys, you know, level up. I'm like, oh yeah, yay! That way everyone's like on the same level the entire time too, because they're leveling as a group.
Yeah, it helped. It definitely does help doing that. Like, see balancing encounters around like people that are like 3 or 5. See, whenever it's like 5 levels apart, it's like, well, you shouldn't even be playing together. You know what I mean? You shouldn't be in the same game, but because of the way things work out, you just are, and it's just a mess. It's just a mess. So I think that's where we're gonna call an end. Otherwise, it's gonna turn into one of me and Garbu's fucking 2-hour-long videos.
Podcast.
Yeah, pretty much. I might. You know what? Leave us some questions down below. We might do a podcast some point this week. I don't know what's going on. You guys know the situation. Like, you know,
Winter Neckbeardia and Garbro getting married.
Sin. But that's neither here nor there. Honestly, it's one of those ones. It's just everything's a bit of a mess at the minute. Here, by the way, our Kickstarter is coming to the very end. It blew 10,000, which is absolutely insane.
Bro, it's fucking retarded.
I don't know. You know, because the thing is, right? Because I was thinking, because it's such like a niche product, not many people are going to be all that interested in it. So, like, you know, we'll just see what happens. Like, you know, I thought it was fun, so, like, you know, we just kind of did it and we threw it up, and it's been way more successful than what I could have ever imagined. So, like, thank you guys very much.
In Burger Bucks, we're at 12K.
Yeah, which is kind of ridiculous, if I be honest with you. So like, there's only a couple of days left. If you're and I'm pretty positive, I don't think we're going to do it again. I don't want to sell the PDF either, because I've already got ideas on how to expand on it, and if we ever do go back, it'll be a much bigger book. Like, I don't want to do another reprint or anything, but that's not going to be for years, if I'll be honest with you. Like, you're talking minimum like 3-4 years before I want to go back to it, because, and again, also I want it to be worthwhile for the people that actually did back the Kickstarter. You know what I mean? It makes it more valuable to them. Does that make sense? Like,
where's my value, Neckbeardia? Where's my value?
Well, I think it does give more value, and like, you know, like, I've got quite a few like very hard to come by RPG books, and I value them more. You know what I mean? Because they are very hard to come by, and like, you know, see stuff that hasn't been in print for years, and the same goes for models and stuff. Like, you know, see if you get like an out of production model from the 90s. There's something really, you know what I mean? There's something really nice about them. Of course, Of course, 3D printing's kind of got rid of that at this point. But
well, the thing is, there is something to owning actual media nowadays, because if you go online, these retails will just delete your media online. They'll remove your fucking PDF.
Yeah, which is absolutely ridiculous.
Well, which is why one D&D is like, there's no books to buy, really. Yeah, you just go online and we'll have the book right there for you. And I own the book, right? No.
Okay. It's like, again, you know, the problem is there's a lot of most even if you're under the age of 20, not many people even remember what it was like having CDs or anything, you know what I mean? So the idea of physical media is kind of alien to them.
Well, there's actually a resurgence in DVD media because of the fact that all these subscription-based places are removing movies. Nope, no more.
Yeah, it's kind of ridiculous. Anyway, that's where we're going to end. Otherwise, we're just going to keep going. I know. Otherwise, we'll just keep going. I don't think we brought up many red flags, honestly.
Most red flags. I don't know why this thread sucked dick so much. Come on, TG, do better. But most red flags are railroading or DMPCs that are super powerful, or all their girls are hot, or forced erotic scenes on players.
Yeah. That doesn't sound like Garbo at all. That doesn't sound
Hey, I seduce my players first, sir. I'll have you know.
All right, okay, yeah, okay, I'll give you that one. I'll let you have that. Honestly, I think the only one that I'm bad for, that I know I'm bad for, but again, I'm open with the players about it. So I'm doing a lot of test plays at the minute, and I'm test playing adventures that I plan to have in books. So I'm honestly just turning around and saying to them, it's like, yeah, guys, we're going here, by the way, today, and that's what's happening because that's what I want to test play.
We're going here. Fuck you. Okay.
Yeah, if you guys have other ideas to go elsewhere, that's just not going to happen, okay? You know what I mean? But at least I'm open about it, and they know exactly the deal. They know what's happening. And it's not like I'm trying to fucking be oh yeah, we're going to play a sandbox. No, you're actually not. People have got on board and they know what they're getting into. So
it's that Spider-Man meme. I got you for 5 minutes. You ain't going nowhere.
Yeah. But look, are you guys? Do you guys do anything that you know? Is there anything that you guys feel like you can improve on? Is there anything that you guys feel like, what have I done? You know what I mean? Or have you had a session where, have you ever done something and then after that session was that could have been handled better?
My God, what have I done?
Yeah.
I killed all those children.
I mean, I've only been tempted to do that twice, so and I've only been tempted. I haven't actually fallen through with it, guys, okay? I hope you guys enjoyed, and we'll see you next time.
Bye-bye.
All those moments lost in time.